Be bold and welcome to another episode of Be Bold. Now, we all know that bringing education and building opportunity for leadership and development is what our mandate is all about. So really, it's just about everyday trying, planning. You know, you have to have a plan. You can't just, wake up and jump and start doing something. Always have a plan. Like I always say, shoot for the moon, because even if you miss, you land among the stars. I mean, how bad can that be? All you have to do is work hard, plan, and in fact, I have a very interesting interview coming up next with BB with a purpose. This man is a Ghanaian who, I'd say he was a big dreamer, really and truly. And all of a sudden, I walk into his school, and there he is training leaders of Africa, Fred Swaniker, for the African Leadership Academy. It's amazing. Just let's take a moment and look at this.
Fred Swaniker, a 34-year-old Ghanaian, found a way to network his way to the hearts and minds of several top-notch companies to achieve his dream, the African Leadership Academy in Johannesburg. His mission? Simply to fight Africa's brain drain. Being a son to Ghanaian parents, naturally telling his parents that he was giving up his well-paid job at McKinsey to start his dream did not rest well with them. In fact, his mother stopped speaking with him for a whole 9 months. Yet Fred and his team were determined to find a way to bring Africa to Africans.
Tell me, what does it mean for any of the students over here to attend African Leadership Academy?
I think for the students over and above any other traditional school, we really offer them a good introduction into a great network, a great global network. But apart from our core academic offering, on top of that we superimpose our African Studies curriculum and our Leadership and Entrepreneurship curriculum, which is what we believe will prepare them to be good future leaders of the continent.
Yeah. What does it take for a student to attend the school?
They have to have a good academic record. They have to be recommended by their principal and their teachers and members of community. But over and above all that, they've got to have shown a passion for Africa and for transforming Africa.
With $4 million in donations from, amongst others, Cisco Systems, Hewlett-Packard, and the San Francisco hedge fund, Fred Swaniker managed to build his school on a 20-acre plot, hiring teachers from top schools around the globe. Fred Swaniker opened admissions in January for the 2-year boarding-only program aimed at juniors and seniors in high school. The response was amazing. The African Leadership Academy received an astonishing 1,700 applications for only 104 spots, making his school more competitive than Harvard or Stanford University.
I'm very surprised, not surprised, but do you know why he picked this particular age group as opposed to, let's say, college or really starting from the roots?
I think because we're not primarily an academic institution, so we want the students to have an academic foundation before they come to us. But as well, remember one of our selection criteria is that they have to have a heart for Africa. They have to have demonstrated some commitment to social upliftment and transformation. So they need to have a little bit of a track record, and pre-college, because we think that we can influence their choices as to how they will impact the continent, rather than getting them after they've made career choices in terms of going into tertiary training.
Of course, with such a school comes huge responsibilities. Whilst Be Bold was there, Fred Swaniker was off on a trip seeking funds to continue supporting his school.
What have been some of the challenges that the school has faced in making this dream a reality?
Well, a big one is funding, because our whole admissions process is needs blind. So we will admit the right people before we find out what level of fee payment they can afford. So we want the right people. So then we have to find the backing for them if they can't afford the fees.
Okay.
Those who graduated left with remarkable experiences.
First of all, ALA brings a pool of diversity together. Like I usually say, even in my poems and my scripts, that is drama script, that ALA is this pool that brings the entire continent into, the entire continent's diversity into perspective. Like, if you come to ALA, there is this wonderful diversity that you get together. And this diversity is very easy to learn from, like from first-hand perspective. Like, you get students from Mali, you get students from Morocco, you get students from DRC, so that when you hear about DRC, the conflict that you have been hearing about DRC, you now get to dig deeper into them. You get them in first-hand information. Then leadership skills that we are taught at African Leadership Academy, I think they're more based on actions that you can take as young people, not waiting for someday, because someday is not any day of the week. Like, and there's nothing like leadership of tomorrow in ALA. You take responsibility now. The time, every moment you live with the continent. Every moment you live to do something for the continent.
Well, the African Leadership Academy was a platform upon which to strengthen my activism. I learned a lot about social activism, particularly within the African context, how to create change, how to catalyze transformational movements. Yeah, it's been a wonderful experience.
That's a 2/3 uptake into really top universities. But then we have other students who has gone back to his home country, which is Kenya, and he's running a peace foundation. So, he's launched straight into making a difference in his community. We've got another graduate who's gone back. He had, before he came here, established a school in a refugee camp. He's gone back and he's furthering that project. So we've got kids all over the show doing things, and even our students who are here are involved in projects at home and here.
Standing right in the quad of the African Leadership Academy, it's very inspirational to be here just because of the fact of what this school does for young Africans, training them to be leaders of Africa. I'm seeing about 2 of them over there, and I'm going to find out from them what it's like to be here. Hey guys, how are you doing?
We good.
Good. So tell me your name.
I'm Christabel Bakun from Ghana.
Oh, Christabel,
Yes.
all the way from Ghana, just
Yes.
like me. What about you?
I'm Hafsa Anwar from Morocco.
Okay. And?
I'm Canizas from DRC.
Okay. So you guys are here at the African Leadership Academy. So I'm sure it took you quite a process to get here. Tell me a bit about that, especially you coming from Ghana. How did you even find out about this place?
Yeah, my dad came to South Africa and he heard a girl being interviewed on SABC1, and he was impressed at how the girl was answering questions. So he came and asked me to check on the school, and I did check and I was amazed by the mission and the value, so I gave it a try and now I'm here.
Wow.
Yeah.
What was the process like for you?
I actually heard from the school from my aunt, who knew actually the mother of a guy from the inaugural class. So when she told me, I first checked the website and I was so impressed because I actually was looking for long years ago for a school where I can meet people from all around Africa, and that was my opportunity, and I applied.
Wow. The application process, what did you do exactly?
We had 3 processes. And then the first process was filling in forms. We submitted them to LA. We received the next application process, which is second round. And then it was still filling in the answers in the application. The last process was the interviews, which was on the finalist weekend.
And what is your process of getting here? What's your story?
Initially I was an educated student. An educated organization is based in Uganda, but founded by Eric Crastrom. And then I was their scholar. So he was a friend to Chris Bradford. And then earlier before, when I finished my senior 4, he told me about this amazing school, African Leadership Academy. He gave me the website, I checked it out, and I was very interested, especially when I looked at their mission and the vision. So I hoped that was something I would take up next. So that's how I came.
So from Morocco all the way to South Africa, what is the difference for you?
In terms of, okay, the first difference I'll talk about is the boarding school. It's my first time to be in boarding school. And the difference is about being responsible. Like, you should do your stuff by your own because your parents are not here to do it for you. And second, you should be very tolerant because in a school like this where there is a lot of diversity, like, you should understand people, not judge them from the first set. Also, like, from Morocco to here, the food actually is very different. So yeah, I think but I got used to 2 years. Yeah, you learn a lot.
Yeah. And do you miss home?
Oh, so much. But in particular, the first year was a terrifying year because it was, first of all, it was a new environment, away from home, away from friends, and then trying all around to establish yourself and getting new people, having a new family around. So it was a very hard experience. But for now, I think as we are moving toward the end of the year, it's something very exciting, but at the same time, I hope maybe we are going to miss each other for some time. Yeah. But I actually miss home so much.
Yeah. And what year are you in now?
I'm in second year.
Second year,
yeah.
So you're almost graduating?
Yeah, almost graduating.
And then what next?
Very exciting that I'm not looking forward to go to college immediately. I had been having a book I've been writing for my life history, especially DRC. And then that was something I want to pursue for the next year at least. And then when I finish that, I can go to college. Because here at LA, I've been having trouble. I couldn't get time to focus and then sometimes write things down. And I hope this will be something very crucial so I can publish my book before going to college.
Wow. ALA is a dream of a Ghanaian. One of them, at least the founder, is a Ghanaian, Fred Swaniker. What do you have to say, being a Ghanaian and knowing that someone from Ghana also founded this school that you're now attending with, like, all these brilliant students from all over the world?
It's been a very nice experience being here. I've loved the fact that I have someone like Hafsa from Morocco, Canisius, and it's also been tough, but all of I've made it, and no matter what happens, you can always make it in life. Mm-hmm. And from here, I'm also going to college, although it's a shock that I actually got into college. But after college, I'm thinking of also using the skills I have in my entrepreneurial and leadership skills to also go and enlighten those in Ghana so that they too will keep on believing in themselves and keep on making business and improve their living standard.
What do you think of the two of them and starting such an amazing establishment?
I just have such respect for them. I mean, a lot of us dream dreams, but to actually take that dream and get up and make it happen, find the backing and get it all in place is phenomenal. I just have the utmost respect for them.
Yeah.
Because dreaming is cheap, translating it into reality, and reality for these students, which will make a difference in their lives and to the life of the continent.
Yeah.
It's just phenomenal.
So you see, it's no easy task to turn your dream into reality. But hey, if Fred Swaniker can do it, so can you.
Welcome to Johannesburg. This is the African Leadership Academy, and we'd like to tell everyone in Africa to be bold!
When I was there, honestly, I had goosebumps just because of how amazing it's real. Like, these kids are there, they're getting trained, they're becoming leaders of Africa, and they're amazing. I mean, how did he even come up with the idea? How do you put it together? How does he sustain it? And he's doing it. So wow, that's a source of inspiration to me every single day. Fred Swaniker of the African Leadership Academy, thank you so much for letting us come into your school to really find out what it is you do and inspire so many people all across the continent. Let's take a break. We'll be back before you know it.